No, we don't. We don't know yet. We on now though.
We on?
We on now.
Okay.
Excuse me, Dougie. You're on.
Okay.
What's good, T.O. Double D?
What's the word?
Ain't nothing. Another episode of Stuck Off the Realness. You heard? How was your week?
Right.
How was your week, bro? Can you hear me?
I just had to to turn the mute off. Something crazy just happened. Yeah, but I'm here. I got you.
Okay, so good. How was your week, brother?
Man, listen. Yo, this week was hard. We lost a real super icon,
Word,
superhuman being. You know what I mean? Let's start off by just giving a super rest in peace to, and the way he would say it is, Brooklyn's finest, the New York Giant, God's favorite DJ Clark Kent.
DJ Clark Kent. Salute, R.I.P. Prayers to his family, man. And everybody that loved him. We all loved him. A major important figure in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Man, it definitely would be another Clark Kent, man. Clark was one of those dudes. Damn, the production was crazy. His personality was just one of a kind. And I heard you had some personal dealings with him.
So yeah, it's crazy because Clark, first and foremost, when I was writing my dissertation for my PhD, Clark was one of the first big name DJs that when I asked for an interview, he was like, "Yo, come on, let's go."
Wow.
Yeah, and there was, I'm not gonna say no names, but there was a lot of DJs that fronted on me. Clark was the first one to be like, "Nah, let's do it." And in that interview, I did 90 interviews. The interview with Clark was the hardest one I ever did, but then he made me just step my interview game up.
How so?
In a crazy way. So I was asking him questions, and at one point I asked him a question, and he looked at me and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna answer your question, but I see how this is going, so I'm gonna answer the next question too."
Right.
So I'm looking like, all right, that's bugged out. Yo, he answered the question, and then he was like, "And oh yeah," and then he answered the next question. And I was like, yo, I can't be in a situation where I'm interviewing people and they, like, the interview feels so elementary that they know the path that is going down.
Right.
And so, yo, I changed up the way I started interviewing, changed up the way I started asking questions, and yo, it made my research iller. I was getting better information from people. I was getting more like just intimate and personal details from different people. So that wound up helping me with my dissertation, getting me over the finish line.
Right.
And and when during the hooding ceremony, which is the graduation for the PhD, I was the student keynote speaker. So it was 4 people in that speech who I got the shout out. It was my mentor, my mom's, God bless her soul, my wife, and Clark Kent. Those are the 4 people that I mentioned in that speech. So then, Clark is quoted in my book, super important quotes just based on that interview. And then a few years ago, I'm teaching my class online, and it was the week right after the verses with Big Daddy Kane and KRS-One. So I'm talking to my students like, yo, did any of y'all watch the verses? And so one of my students was like, yeah, I watched it with my dad. He said it was cool, but it could have been better. And I was like, all right, well, your dad must be like around my age. And he was like, yeah. And he was like, yo, my dad's a DJ. And I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, yo, have you ever heard of a DJ named Clark Kent? And yo, and this is in front of the whole Zoom classroom. So I
Right.
literally sat
Right.
up in my chair and I'm like, Brooklyn's finest, New York Giants, boss favorite DJ, Clark Kent. So then, you know, after class, you know, everybody leaves class. I'm in the Zoom. Clark comes in. I'm talking to him, and you know, I was like, Clark, thank you so much. Like, I wouldn't have this. I wouldn't have my doctorate. I wouldn't be teaching without your influence and your impact. Like, it was so important for what you did, just to get me to this point. And yo, I would love to have you come in and talk to some of my students. And he was like, yo, I'll definitely come to one of your classes. He was like, but I just want to ask you one thing. And I was like, what's that? And he's like, yo, would you mind just, you know, seeing my son through his college process? And I'm like, that's easy. That's my job. That's what I do. And so throughout the whole time, I mean, his son, shout out to Antonio, you know, Mage, super smart. He did all of the work and did everything. But, you know, I was just checking in with him, making sure he was getting through things. You know, people get tripped up with their schedules and all of that. So just making sure that he was good. And in June, his son graduated.
Wow.
So, you know, I know it was super important to Antonio to get to the graduation. For CUNY, for City Tech, we do the graduation in the Barclays Center, which is kind of crazy because you in the Barclays, you look up, you see Biggie's jersey up in the rafters from the Brooklyn Nets.
Wow.
And so at graduation, one of the first people I see walking in is Antonio. And then when I'm leaving the Barclays, I'm like, I'm gonna try and find them, but it's thousands of people. So I leave the Barclays, I walk one way. I'm like, there's so many people, I'm not gonna find them.
Right.
I turn around, I walk like 2 or 3 steps, I look up, Clark Kent is walking towards me.
Right there.
So, you know, we just had a whole conversation, and he was like, yo, thank you. And I'm like, nah, if we don't look out for our people, then who does? Who will?
Right.
So, you know, at that point, he was like, yo, I want you to come meet the family. So he brings me over, talking to his family and all that, chopping it up with Antonio at, you know, right after the graduation. And then Clark is just like, yo, I'm coming to your class. That's the next thing I'm doing. I'm coming to your class. I'm like, all right, Clark, cool. It's all good. He's like, nah, Todd, you don't understand. I'm coming to your class. That's the next thing I'm doing. And people who know Clark and have had experiences with him, when he talks to you, he's so locked in on you, and it feels like you the only person there. Like nothing else matters. Like you completely locked in with him. So we have been talking all throughout the summer, and 6 weeks ago, September 17th, he came into my class with my students. I got a once a week hip hop class. That once a week class meets for 2.5 hours. He sat down, chopped it up with my students for 2.5 hours. After class ended, talked to every student personally. I had students who were like, yo, he shook my hand. Yo, he gave me advice. Yo, he signed my notebook. I didn't want to ask him for a picture. That was too much. And then another student was like, yo, I asked him for a picture. Like, you should have got that. And it, you know, to see that, and just to see like the love that he gave to my class was just crazy. And his son was there. So I'm super thankful that his son got the opportunity to kind of see him like in that moment, almost like a college professor, just teaching and talking to students.
Right.
I had no idea that he was sick. 3-year battle with colon cancer. And you know, it's the fact that my class is probably one of a handful of stops that he made before he passed is, you know, it is super meaningful, super special.
And I'm sure he left a mark on your students, man.
Oh man, my students, I had to tell them on Tuesday. And that class was just a lot of students were shocked. A lot of students were just, really just like, yo, he was just here with us. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about? Like, he was just here. So, um, but I think the dopest thing about Clark that I got to see, I mean, yo, super DJ,
Right.
super producer,
Hell yeah.
super duper A&R, the fashion, the culture, the sneakers. I mean, yo, part of the reason I got a wall of sneakers behind me is because of the way Clark lifted up the sneaker community and what
Right.
fashion and what all things fresh really
He was
meant.
he was a true sneakerhead, right?
Word. But even iller than all of that, the thing that I got to see with Clark is just how much of a family man he was. Like,
Yeah.
just how he was as a father. And sometimes I think we miss those opportunities to see people in that capacity.
Sure did, because we just see the outside facade, and we don't get to see the family part. And sometimes when people online criticizing people about certain things, they forget that these people are human too.
Wow.
These people are human. He had a family, like we all do. You know what I mean? And I think that we all should be a little nice to each other sometimes.
Right.
More than we are. Because go ahead.
Yeah. Now I was just gonna say, like, by that same token, like, when you look at the social media feed and you just look at everybody who is just like, sending shout outs and love to Clark Kent.
Right.
Notice that, and someone had said it in a post, and I was like, it's true. Person was like, notice how everybody's saying their life was changed by him, and he was a dope DJ, but he was even a iller friend, a iller father. Like, he motivated people, he cared for people, and he gave the people in a way that was really special. So, man, listen,
special guy, man.
Yeah, just a gift. Like, I know it's hard for everybody. My love and condolences to his family. All I want to say is, like, for real, thank you to the family for sharing such a gift of a human being with the rest of us. Cause, yo, if I had a family member like that who was just super, that you don't like, you almost want to keep that to yourself. Like, nah, be here with us all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Infinite thanks for them.
Clark was one of a kind, man. I met him. Excuse me if I keep clearing my throat. I'm getting over a little cold. You wake up in the morning and you feel that scratchy throat. You be like, oh man, it's all them popping.
Hey, get that all
I've been attacking it all day. So and so I met him early on in my career. Me and Prodigy. I forget where he was working, but he was always in the industry as far as I was concerned, like from the beginning of our careers and like 93, 92 until now. So, Clark was one of those people that I always saw, always respected, always knew he was dope, very opinionative, outspoken, definitely didn't bite his tongue. You know what I mean? One of a kind. Is definitely wasn't nobody else like Clark Kent. And in the building, and he accomplished a lot. You know what I mean? When Jay-Z sees him, it's like hats off to him, to Clark. You know what I'm saying? Right. Everybody's praising Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's praising this man. You know what I mean? And that's how important of a figure he is, was, will always be.
Right.
We definitely not gonna forget him. We're losing a lot of our soldiers, but as long as we salute them the best way we can, it's all good.
Yeah, keep their legacy alive as best as possible, and carry on that tradition.
Yeah, speaking of legacy, we still got that Mobb Deep album that we working on right now, and I wanted to ask the chat. I wanted to ask y'all,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What features do y'all want to see on this Mobb Deep album? No feature is wrong. It's just, you know what I mean, your opinion and all of that.
And
But
and this week,
I'm curious, you know what I mean?
right. And for everybody, for the people we calling this week's show the Listeners Lounge, because we just take in straight comments and commentary from the chat. That's what we doing today for the whole show.
So somebody said Nas.
I see Rock Marcy. I see Raekwon the Chef.
Infamous Mobb, that's a given.
Noid, that's another given.
Called Mega. Boldy. MOP. Alpha Skelter. Jadakiss. Somebody even said Cool Keith.
And the Locks.
Oh yeah, that'd be sickening, kid.
Oh, somebody said Nature.
I mean, yeah, man. All of these fixes crazy.
This Scarface, Lupe Fiasco,
okay. ALC, of course.
Right, but that's a given. Like, so let's say
somebody said Foxy, The Promise Part 2. I would love that for sure.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be.
What you was gonna say, Todd?
So I'm gonna say I think that there's a certain group of artists that's a given, right? So you know you get an Alchemist, you know you get an Infamous Mobb, you know you getting Noid, like that's just like you're not gonna have a Mobb Deep album without the crew there. So this is like, I mean, I guess they technically features, if you want to call them that, but that's home team. That's not really features.
That's family.
Yeah, that's family. So
yeah, like even like a Ray and Ghost, it's like family. That's not and Nas, it's like that's that's family to me. It's technically a feature. It's all good, but we spoil you. You know what I'm saying? That's our peoples.
Right.
It's
crazy when that's you like, yo, that's my peoples.
Yeah, it really is. Somebody said RJ Payne. Yeah, he's crazy. RJ Payne, I don't know what's going on inside his brain, but he got lyrics to go for real. His lyrics is like ready. Conway.
There's two that I'm seeing right now that I just want to put in the air because even I would love to see these. Number one is Makami, who he's another one. I don't know what's on his brain, but whatever it is, he on a different stratosphere with it. And then Rhapsody.
Oh yeah, she gets it in. Yeah, she's better than like 95 of the dudes out here. Like, gender don't even matter. Her pen is crazy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Her pen is like definitely off the chain. Rhapsody, man. Oh, man, that's ill. Word. What about collabs from like our peoples that's not even here no more? Like what was that?
Somebody said Killer Shah, and I just looked at that and was like,
right.
Rest in peace to him. That's another one. We lost Killer Shah. What's over 10 years ago now.
Yeah, when he before he passed away, he came to the crib and was chilling with me for a little while too. Word.
Yeah, he when I was doing my first book and was doing the soundtrack for the book, he did a song for the soundtrack.
That's right.
Before he passed.
That's right. Killer Shah. He did the scratches on the first Shook Ones Part 1.
That's because that was
he was our first DJ. Killer Prince AD. That was you call him Killer Shah, I call him Prince AD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? J Royal. Somebody mentioned J Royal. Yeah, he's another one. Coogee Rap, of course.
Oh, Flea Lord, that would be a good one.
Absolutely.
Freddie Gibbs.
Sean Price. Damn, y'all really going in with these features. We might have to make a triple double album.
Yo, listen, you might have to do a Mob Features album with
Right.
all of these.
Marvin Friends.
Have somebody put Doechii in the chat. That would be another crazy one.
Okay. All right. Damn, we're gonna have an album for forever, for the ages, man. But yeah, we only could put like 12 songs on the album. I mean, we could go in and we could do 18, but everybody attention span these days is their attention span is not there. But I think if you give them something that they mess with, it don't even matter, right? Like you could have 20 songs, but if it's 20 solid songs,
oh yeah. So somebody said Stove God Cooks.
Stove God Cooks. My man Sanjay said Q-Tip. Yeah, I definitely wanna. You know what? To be honest with you, I definitely wanna get with Q-Tip in the studio while I'm messing with this album. Anyway, just to on some like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the big bro right there, yo. He really looked out when it came to that Infamous album. Mm-hmm. So I definitely would like to hook up with Q-Tip.
And even I remember when he came through to the studio for some of the Murder Music sessions. That's when I first met Q-Tip, actually.
Yeah, that was your first time meeting Q-Tip that time?
Yo, the first time I met Q-Tip, y'all was recording the Murder Music album. He had a dude with him. Quiet dude, didn't really say too much. And at the time, the instrumental that you had up the day that Tip came was the Illustrious instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
And dude sat down in the corner and was writing rhymes. That dude is somebody who we now know as Yasin Bey. I will never forget that.
Was I there?
You was there.
I don't remember that.
That was early most. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember that like it was yesterday because Q-Tip Tip gave me the third degree. He was like, you was on your usual, yo, Tip, that's my cousin. He went to Harvard. So Tip was like, oh, word, what'd you do at Harvard? What degrees you got? I was like, oh, I got my master's in education. Oh, word, where you went to undergrad? I was like, Williams College. It's like, well, what was your major in undergrad? I was like, oh, sociology and political science with a concentration in African American studies. And he looked and he was like, all right, word. And he grilled me down for a second.
I mean, you hit him with the boom bap real quick.
No, listen, look. So, and I remember that because it was most I was with him. And at the time, back in those days, I was listening to Stretch and Bob heavy. Like I used to drive down from college on Thursdays, 3 hours, go to my homegirl Scrappy's house. I would ring her doorbell. She'd run downstairs, hand me a Stretch and Bob tape, and I'd turn around and drive back to college.
And you be right back out?
Right. You know, we was young then. You driving, it's whatever, right?
Right.
So I remember listening the most from the Stretch and Bob tapes and then seeing them. It was like, yo, this is crazy that like I'm sitting here right now, and just the people who came in and out of the studio for those Murder Music sessions, like as somebody who is not an artist, as just like a hip hop fan looking in, it was like, yo, that's Busta Rhymes.
Right.
Yo, that's Tip.
Yo, Busta was actually working in the same studio with us while we was making Murder Music. He was right next door. I think, what was that soundtrack? I think
was doing flip mode because Rod Digger was there all the time. That was in soundtracks.
Soundtracks, right?
So just the people who would come through would just be like, yo, that's C's. Yo, that's Bounty Killer. Yo, that like it was just crazy.
And studio sessions back then looked so dope and crazy because you actually had the 2-inch reels, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the 2-inch reels, reel to reels. So studio time felt mad special, right? That machine, costed like $1 million trillion. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you messed up, bring back the tape, and sometimes he used to cut it and all of this crazy stuff. And I actually hooked up with Sony a couple of years ago, and they let me get my hands on a lot of the reels that we worked on the Infamous album.
Oh, that's
And I
dope.
believe, yeah, and I believe on Hell on Earth. I forgot what the occasion was for, but in order to listen to those reels, in order to listen to those reels from 30 years ago, you have to bake those reels in an oven.
Oh, because if you play them, they'll disintegrate because they so old.
Something like that. Whatever it is, in order to play those reels again, before you play them, because they haven't been played in so long, you have to actually bake them in the oven. Craziest thing in the world. But then they work. But a lot of these labels, they throw away those reels, and that's crazy because they don't got nowhere to store them anymore. These things been stored for like 30, 40 years, and they end up just throwing it because everything is digitized now. So
I remember when Jonathan Lighty came to the studio and was like, "Yo, this is the glyph drive, Have. This is about to change the game."
Right. That was the beginning of the end.
Right. It was the start of your ending.
It was the start of the ending for analog. You know what I mean? You know, all those warm, nice beats you used to hear that was crazy. Yeah, that was the end of that. Because, you know, these youngins started coming in, digitizing everything. You know what I mean? They started digitizing it. Analog went out the window. And then you had Pro Tools. Because I remember recording when it wasn't no such thing as Pro Tools. Like,
right.
I'd be bugging like, we so far into, you know, technology now that thinking back on it, I can't believe that we was recording without computers. You know what I'm saying? Or the way we was making beats. Like now, you could actually see the beat. You understand what I'm saying? So you can see the waveforms and all of that, and you can see, and it makes it easier. You know what I mean? So I understand. But yeah, I even remember when we used to have the cassette tapes. If your cassette popped, you used to have to do surgery to that tape.
Scotch tape on the other side, the small fingernail clipper file to get the screws out to open the tape up. Yeah, man, listen.
Yeah, we used to have to go really, really crazy when you because it wasn't no buying another tape. Them tapes was like how much? Like $18. Our allowance was like 10.
Right, the tapes could be anywhere from $10 to $15. So, and at a certain point, allowance is only like $5, then it went up to like a little $7 before it got to 10. So sometimes the tape was 2 weeks worth of
allowance
saving. That's allowance, no camera during the week, no nothing. Yeah,
word. You know what I mean? And, you know, that's the stuff that definitely made the Infamous album go gold initially, and then later on platinum. Right. But I ain't gonna lie, I think we was platinum already back then. Somebody was hiding the numbers. You know what I mean? They was hiding those numbers. You can't tell me. You know how many people I met that said, "Yo, man, you know how many Infamous tapes I bought because somebody stole it from them."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like because somebody stole it. If somebody stole your Infamous tape back in the days, let me see it. Show of hands, man.
Yeah, put a fire sign in the chat if somebody stole your Infamous tape.
If somebody, don't worry, we're gonna get them back for you. we gonna get them back for you. Don't worry about that, man. For real. So yeah, that's what that is.
Here they go. I'm already seeing the fire emojis is popping off. Somebody else, hold up.
Yeah. Oh, somebody said I stole this one. Somebody's admitting to the thievery. They's like, man, I stole it.
Yo, Yakubelli was like, say word, they did, done.
Like I'm proud of you, young man. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Whoever you juked it from probably didn't deserve it. I feel you. You know what I mean? For real. Nah, that's crazy.
Oh, somebody else put in. Let me put this bug in your ear. Somebody else was like, I want to hear features with Scarlett and Lotto on the new Mobb album.
Okay. Hey, I love Scarlett. I love Lotto. Okay. I love them both. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. But at the same time, we can't please everybody, right? Like when you're doing this album, you can't please everybody. And that's not the point anyway. You know what I'm saying? To please everybody. You're just trying to, speak to your core audience at this point. You know what I mean? We're not trying to reinvent the wheel, but we definitely trying to make a dope ass album. You know what I mean? Somebody said CL Smooth. That's definitely one of my favorite MCs.
Noir, she's super dope.
What about on the production? Who would y'all like to see up there? As far as you already know, we got ALC and HABOC in the building. You know what I mean? But what kind of production would y'all like to see up there? I got a few in mind.
I seen somebody said Large Pro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know that almost feels like home team. Now
Derringer, Hit Boy, definitely.
Derringer, Hit Boy. That's all.
Two of my favorites.
And even Rock Marciano, because he's producing and rhyming too.
Oh yeah, Man of My Own Heart.
Conductor Williams is another one.
Okay.
Somebody said Ninth Wonder. Yo, Ninth was just on the show, so that would be a no-brainer.
Yeah, I definitely rocks with Ninth. You know what I mean? He definitely could throw a track in there. Got the producers, featured producers. What about any part twos? Any part twos? What could we do a part 2 to? What could we do a part 32?
Part 2. Someone in the chat has set a part 2 to something. I'm trying to scroll back on my phone and see if I could see what the part 2 was. But somebody definitely said a part 2. Maybe it was an Eye for an Eye part 2. Was that it?
Eye for an Eye part 2.
And then somebody just said Extortion or The Realist. Here's what I would say.
Shook Ones would be part 3. I said part 2.
Now, Extortion, I would love to hear an Extortion part 2. That was one of my favorite songs on Hell on Earth.
Now, I would like to hear The Realist part 2.
I worry because you know how sometimes like the part 2 ain't like the part 1. You know, right? How that goes with the movies. Now, you got a great track record with Shook Ones Part 1 and Part 2. So the Realist would be that could be another one.
No, that. I mean, yeah, like I said, The Realist is one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite beats that Alchemist ever did.
Yo,
you know what I mean? And Alchemist got a trillion dope tracks. You know what I mean? So but The Realist just do something to me.
Yeah.
When we playing that on stage, I barely, say the lyrics to it. I just like the lyrics to just play. You know what I'm saying? When it's playing on the stage, I just let it play and I just be like I'm part of the event. You know what I mean? Just like I paid to get in because I want to hear it. You know what I mean? I definitely can't get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? Up North Trip.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, because that sounds like you saying The Realist is one of your favorite songs just to listen to.
Right.
What's some of your other favorite Mobb songs that when it's time to perform, it's almost hard to perform because you're just trying to be a listener?
Like a song like It's Mine's or Burn.
Okay.
Like Burn, I love the shit out of that beat. I ain't even gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to, you know what I mean? I'd be like, I remember when I was making the beat and I just was like, I was just sitting there, just kept messing with it, and nobody wasn't there, but it was sounding so dope to me that I was getting nervous. Like my heart was beating fast when I was making that. I was like, I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
That's the and yo, somebody in the chat was like,
Matter of fact, hold on before you say it. I just made a beat like that today. That made me get nervous, and I was like, oh, somebody said, yo, I got my people said. They said, yo, what that be for? I was like, yo, this for the Mobb album.
nah,
Crazy. This for the I can't get this beat away. This beat is for the Mobb album. Yo, the beat's so crazy. I'm like, I'm barking on myself, like, dude, you better write a crazy verse to this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of them beats. Like,
oh wow,
real.
that's crazy.
You know, I don't know if somebody mentioned this name, but Tyler the Creator, he would be a dope feature to me.
Tyler's super dope.
Tyler the Creator would definitely be a dope feature for sure. Tyler the Creator. Shouts out to Tyler the Creator. Super original MC, you know what I mean? And those are the people that, in my eyes, they always win, right? Because he not, you know what I'm saying, trying to be like nobody else. That's crazy. And I always, when people ask me for my advice, they like, yo, you know, what can I do to make things better? Or how can I make it? And this, that. I'll be like, yo, just be original.
Word.
You know what I mean? Just be original. That's the best advice anybody could give you, man, because it might not catch on at first because, you know, people are sheep. You know, they just like to, you know, go to what everybody else is liking. But once that real fan catches on to the different stuff that you're doing, it's just going to become contagious. You understand what I'm saying? They're going to be like, yo, listen, because, you know, believe it or not, people get tired of the same old thing after a while anyway. You know what I mean? So if you hold on, and somebody said, y'all not bumping Tyler the Creator, stop it.
What?
Look, let me tell you this. You know how, you know why? First of all, I mess with Tyler the Creator music, but my son be bumping the music. And I be like, who's this? He'd be like, Tyler the Creator. I mean, yo, hanging with my little son, you know, I already was a Tyler the Creator fan, you know what I mean? But, you know, now my son, he's getting older and stuff like that. And like, yo, bro, he was Tyler the Creator for Halloween. That's how much, you know what I'm saying, he messed with Tyler the Creator. Like the music, he'd be like, yo, dad, can you play this? Blah, 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 blah. And
right.
And I'll play it in the car. And it's something that I probably normally wouldn't have listened to, not because I don't like it, but, you know, I just be in my own zone sometimes. So it's good when you could be around other people like your kids to kind of open your mind up to certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as he was playing it, I was like, wow. I was like, nah, this is dope.
Yeah, not it. And I'll tell you this, I've been tuned in to Tyler the Creator since Yonkers. So I'll just leave that there for the people. Right. Okay. That's number one. But then number two, my daughter listens to Tyler. So at one point, my daughter was like, "Hey, you up on Tyler? Yeah, I'm up on Tyler. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
What are we talking about? This Chromacopia album is dope. And yo, the Call Me When You Get Lost album before that, but
nah, for sure. Nah. I mean, Our Future and all of that.
Right.
I didn't listen to them around that time, but I know they was crazy though.
Yeah, and I was tuned in. They was you know, they was jumping out the window with some of their lyrics, but you could tell musically what they was doing. They was somewhere different with it.
They was trying to be different, right?
Right.
Not trying, they were being different.
Right. Absolutely.
Earl Sweatshirt.
Right.
What's the other single?
Frank Ocean, Sid.
Frank Ocean. Yeah.
Right. Have somebody said Pusha T for a feature.
Somebody said that earlier. Nah, Pusha T is dope. I think we should do a Clips and Mobb Deep collab.
That would be crazy.
A Clips and Mobb Deep collab would be dope. You know what I'm saying?
That would be super crazy.
Or
super crazy.
Yeah, I'm checking out this track.
Somebody said
Same.
Survival of the Fittest Part 3. I didn't know that there was a Survival of the Fittest Part 2, though.
Maybe they got one. Oh no. Matter of fact, there is a part 2. Maybe there is.
Is there?
It's a remix. It's a remix.
Okay.
It's a remix. So yeah, they not bugging.
Would you ever try and do a Shook Ones Part 3?
Nah. You gotta be like Floyd Mayweather with Shook Ones and just leave on top. You know what I'm saying? You gotta leave 50-0. You know what I'm saying? Shook Ones is 50-0. You gotta leave that alone. Don't even you ruin it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the kind of song that you let everybody else rap over and freestyle over. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't mess it up. Like, and you know what though? Me and P did do like a mixtape version of Shook Ones, right? But you know, it was a mixtape version, and nothing to ever touch. You know what I'm saying? The original song. I mean, to this day, I can't even believe that I made the song. Like, I be like, you know, who was that guy? But I know who that guy was. You know what I'm saying? Somebody very ambitious, thirsty, hungry, very creative, and a lot of times, you know, even today. Even though we, you know, I reached a certain level of success, I still try to, you know, draw that hungry, thirsty feeling. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, I think about what makes artists dope, right? And I always think artists are the best when they first come out. You know what I'm saying? When they first come out, when you first
Yeah.
hear about them,
Super
they the
hungry.
best. And then during their career, they're still dope. And then towards the end, it's like they not whack, but it's like they not who they was. And I question myself. I'm like, why don't artists like stay the course or stay the same of who how they started? And I think some of the reasons is because it's a lot of pressure to keep up with the changing times of music. It's a lot of pressure on the artist to still sound current, right? Because when they first came out, they was super current,
Right.
right? So they think that that's the recipe. When I think the recipe is just staying who you are, but then it's a conundrum because when you stay who you are, people start going off into something else, right? And then later on, they'll come back, you know, after you done, you know what I'm saying, thought to yourself like, damn, you know, my music's not the same or whatever it is. They'll come back because they love that sound that you had. So I think artists should, you know, it's a tough job being an artist. It's a very tough job being an artist because at first you like really dope. Everybody loves you, and then people claim to get tired, and then they move on to something new, right? And that could mess with a artist's ego or whatever it is. But
Right.
make no mistake, you are still dope, and you are who you are, and just keep doing what you do. You know what I mean? Somebody said the only rapper who I think of right now that really reinvented himself was Sean Price. That's very true word because it's like, you know, Sean Price, the whole boot camp clique,
Right.
we know them, we love them.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? Um, the era's changed, right? Music changed. Everybody was trying to do this, you know, no sample digital music that, you know, some of it was good. It was okay. But it seemed like they was leaving that kind of like boom bap hip hop alone. And right at that very moment, here comes Sean Price.
monkey bars.
Straight up.
Yeah, like just like bars, like undeniable, just whoo, man, rest in peace to Sean Price. He was another one. Just his bars was too thorough.
Yeah, man. Like imagine if he was here now. It's like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? What that would look like. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
and somebody in the chat, I gotta post that one up. Yo, and that's facts. Doom definitely came back crazy from Zev Love X and KMD. He had the verse on the gas face with third base.
Yep.
And when he came back as MF Doom, yeah, that's probably the reinvention of all reinvention.
Of the decade of you know of,
that might be the reinvention of the culture. Like, yo, we sometimes we forget, and rest in peace to Doom, because he passed away. The anniversary of him passing away was yesterday. Remember, Doom was the dude who would send a fake Doom to the show to perform. And so you didn't, because he had the mask on, you didn't know if you was getting the real Doom or if you was getting like a Doom lookalike.
That's real slick, man. That's real slick. You know, at first when I seen MF Doom doing what he was doing, I was like, yo, who's this? You know what I'm saying? But yo, you know what I mean? He was ill. He was dope. It turned out to be Zeph Lover X, right?
Yeah,
I remember him. I remember when he was. I remember KMD. I remember him from KMD. That's crazy. And I don't know who came first with the mask, but remember that famous DJ Marshmallow that used to wear that big marshmallow over his head or whatever it was?
I think Doom came before him. I think the only person before Doom with the mask was probably Humpty with the glasses.
Right, but that was like just a nose. It wasn't even a full mask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, and Doom had beats too, right? Like he made
beats. Yeah, between the beats and the rhymes, he was crazy. He was out of here with it.
Yeah, I never understand why a lot more rappers don't make their own beats, because you know what you want to rap to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what you're going to rap to.
But I think making beats is a different brain frequency, in all honesty. Because I
get you, but if you're a writer, then you already on that frequency because you're writing.
Have I seen you make beats? That when you watch the people who are masters at that craft doing it, is different. Like, I've seen you making beats. I've seen Al making beats. Like, I've seen, shout out to my man Bear One in Philly. I seen him making beats. There's people who do the production is something different. It's really
I like watching cats make beats. I really do. Not to try to copy their style, but I'm just totally interested because I know everybody has their own little different recipe. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody, and you know, back in the days, I used to watch Large Professor make beats.
Right.
Primo make beats, of course. Q-Tip make beats. Right. A few cats, and even Alchemist, you know, watch him make beats. And I'm always intrigued because I'm a forever fan of hip hop, man. To be honest with you, like a super forever fan. Like it's ridiculous, man. But yeah, shouts out to all those people.
Yeah, and that's hard to do too. To because think about it, think about how hard it is for you first to do the beat, then you gotta sit down and write to the beat that you just did, and then on top of that, like, you trying to write to the beat that you just did while P is in the studio writing to the beat that you just did. You know how that goes.
Right. I miss P for a lot of things. I for a whole lot. I just miss P for his conversations. But one of the special things I miss about is seeing him writing in the studio. You know what I mean? And being the first one to hear these incredible lyrics. You know what I mean? I mean, yo, there's a lot of dope MCs, you know, in hip hop. Probably, you know, a handful that like, yo, these are the GOATs. And I was rapping with one of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was a witness to one of them. And you know, for a long time, I just thought that was like standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how P was rapping. Because I was just so used to it. But then as I compared it to everything else that was out there, I was like, man, this guy is not even from this planet.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
different.
mean? I used to try to like damn, you know, saying how he write that, like try to, emulate his style. Cause that's what as an artist, that's what you do. Like you try to emulate and then try to create your own style. But his style was just he was the only one that really could do that style that he had, you know what I mean? And he would chop words, make up his own words,
He flipped the
saying a bar break,
pronunciation, right? Like,
saying a bar break, like that's not
right,
even a place, but we know what he was talking about. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Um, yeah, nah, P was special. You know what I mean? I know everybody probably like, oh, I keep talking about P, but yeah, y'all don't understand. Like, if y'all knew him, knew him, it's just wow. You know what I mean? I just want to thank God that he made the stars line up,
Word.
and I was able to meet Prodigy in high school. I mean, how perfect was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Every time when I think back, and I think like that's how a lot of our lives are, whether good or bad. Whatever we find our situation in, it just happens so perfectly. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah,
that time you left out your crib and 5 minutes later you see an accident. It's
right.
like
If I'd have
it,
left 2 minutes before, I'd have been crossing the street right at that time.
everything happened perfectly. So, you know what I mean? When I met P, you know what I'm saying? And he happened to be a rapper. I was rapping. He already had a record deal. I'm like, yo, let's form a group. We didn't know nothing about nothing.
Yes.
All we knew was to look on the back of that CD and be like, all right, we just gonna go to these record companies. Of course, yeah, we gotta make a demo. We're gonna make a demo. We're gonna go to these record companies. And then one thing led to another. And certain things didn't work, certain things did work. And then boom, you got shook ones. And the rest is just
It's,
history. I'm gonna have a fun time working on this movie. Do y'all want to see a Mobb Deep movie?
oh
Show of
wow.
hands. Show of hands. Show of hands. Because I'm working on my book right now with the one and only TODD, the
Listen,
Harvard professor, helping
listen,
me write my book right now.
listen. It's only right. God get it done. It's we gotta document the culture properly. That's my thing. And yeah, we gotta document the culture properly.
Oh
So
yeah, we got to document the culture properly, and that is what's going to be done.
right.
But yeah, Mobb Deep movie. Would y'all like to see that? The Mobb movie, the infamous movie. You know what I'm saying? The final Mobb Deep chapter. I mean, yeah, that's going to be crazy, bro. That's really going to be crazy for real.
Word.
That's my
Yo, have
that's my
somebody in the chat threw up. Yo, I haven't heard Graf's name mentioned for the feature.
oh yeah. Because people sleeping on my boy Graf, but Graf is working right now.
Right.
He on his Grizzly right now, more than ever before. So yeah, Graf definite. That would be a dope feature. 38 special.
Right. Oh yeah, that's a no-brainer.
He's
Um
one of my favorite MCs right now.
yeah, oh yeah,
38, 38 special. I think we spoke about him on the
yeah,
last episode.
the way his bars is cutting through is crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah,
And
man.
they fun, witty, and the images. Like the way he's pulling images in those bars is something else.
Um, yeah, because like I said before on one of the last other episodes, I was like, everything that he's writing just makes sense.
Right.
Like, as a writer, you want to reach that level of just making sense when you rap, because a lot of the stuff we be hearing now, it don't be making sense. But more power to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it makes sense to somebody else. It's all good. I'm really not too critical of writers. If you're writing and You know what I'm saying? Just right. You know what I mean? It's good to somebody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I really don't try to even get that too much energy.
No,
Criticize.
and listen, there should be some balance and some versatility. There's going to be some things that we listening to that other people are not listening to. There's going to be some things that are being made right now. You know, it's for it's for a different age bracket, and that's cool. I'm not even mad at that. Like, I try to tap in when I can. I try and make sense of what's happening. But yo, sometimes that's not the frequency that I'm supposed to be on, or it's not recorded with my ears in mind, and that's cool.
Right.
That's cool. I ain't mad at that, because there was a time when we was younger that the music that we was listening to at that time, our OGs is like, nah, not that.
Right. I'm sure, you know, some of the OGs, you know, wasn't feeling some of the stuff we was coming with, but you know, a lot of them was. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just when the eras start to shift, it's just, you know, sometimes it's just a disconnect there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's natural. It don't mean that they don't respect the art. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they don't listen to that. You know what I mean? They respect. I respect most MCs. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of how should I say it, fake MC was not. They not really an MC. I just think they out here just for the fame and not the artistry. I'm more for the art. You know what I'm saying? Of writing and you know, telling a good story. You know what I'm saying? A good narrative. I mean, that's the best you know, writing to me, to be honest with you.
Right. And listen, shout out to all the MCs that's willing to stand in the spotlight and put your art on display like that for people to not only listen to, but then the critique. And this day and age that we living in is, shout out to them, because that's not easy. Listen, them comments be real underneath some of songs. So if you able to weather that storm, I salute you, because
yeah. Okay. Wreckage Man Part 2. How about that? That was a really favorite album of mine. You know what I mean? I really, really felt that album. I think it kind of went a little too under the radar for what it was. It was dope. Me and SP talked about working on another one.
Dope.
I want to listen to that as soon as we get off of this. This God, you know what I mean? Like, for real, that was a dope one. That was a dope album.
And we here for part 2 for that one, because the two of y'all had a dope synergy together on that one.
Yeah, appreciate it. God lucky. Let's see what else they got in it. Havoc in the 38 album would be crazy. Yeah, that would be dope.
Somebody said they waiting on a collab with you and Mega. They haven't forgotten about that one.
Oh yeah, that's definitely in the works. That's in the works. You know what I mean?
And then I'm personally waiting on the Dirty P.
Oh yeah, that's right there. You know what I mean? That's right there. That's crazy, because if I had a factory of producers with me, I think I'll be crazy. But you know, I'm just in here just trying to wearing many hats, trying to make this happen. But I'm definitely focused on the Mobb Deep album right now, because we got the 30th anniversary coming up, and those only come around once in a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? 30th anniversary of the Infamous album. It's coming up. We got some dope brand collabs coming up. Shout out to Kiki and Tasia, Prodigy's wife and daughter. We just got off the phone with a brand today that we're gonna collab with, that you all know. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's just one of many. You know what I mean? Collabs we're gonna do for the 30th anniversary with an iconic brands, you know, Mobb Deep and X, Y, and Z. Can't tell y'all the brand yet because I'm gonna let the cat out the bag.
Okay.
But yeah, what collabs? What brand collabs would y'all like to see? I mean, you know, we got the Supreme and all of that, but what give me some ideas because I can't do this by myself. So y'all got to give me some ideas, and I'll be like, yo, you know what? That'll be a dope brand collab.
You
Like
know
with
what would be crazy? What would be
what?
a crazy Mobb Deep collab?
What?
A Mobb Deep Timberland.
Yo, they came out with a Mobb Deep Timberland.
Did
They
they?
did. Like with the Tims that we wore on the infamous album cover in the back. They
Oh,
actually put out a Mobb Deep Tim. Yeah, we got to check.
okay.
we got a bag from that. We definitely got a bag.
Check. And the other thing is, I mean, there's two things that y'all could bring back. Number one is Averex, and number two is Pele Pele.
I like that. Pele was Prodigy's favorite. I mean, I remember when Prodigy bought us all Pele Peles. He bought like 5 butter soft leather Peles when we was living uptown. Hell yeah, we used to hang in the Bronx and uptown and all of that. He had a lot of style. I don't know where he got the Peles from, but they was crazy. Word, a Pele collab would definitely be dope.
That'll be dope. Listen, I wear extra large in jackets. That's all. That's all I say.
No doubt. Averex for sure. Averex.
Yeah, somebody put Mobb Deep in Kif, which would be dope. Shout out to Ronnie. He's killing it over there with Kif.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kif, that'll be a dope collab.
And if I'm not mistaken, Ronnie's from Queens.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, I'm like 97% positive that Ronnie Fee's from Queens.
Oh yeah.
So that would just be dope.
Okay. All right. So, you know, we got the collabs. We knocked the collabs out. The features. The Mobb Deep movie. The book. Arzo says she knows some brands. I mean, name some brands, please. Name some brands for us. Yeah, you know what I mean? Hennessy. Holla at us.
Oh, what about a Mobb Deep Carhartt collab?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh,
that's a no-brainer.
I still remember the Carhartt Mob Guess Jean team.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, for sure. Carhartt Mob. Guess.
Another one. Yeah.
They think. I don't know. We'll. I don't know. We'll see what's up with Guess. How about that? Bandanas. All right. Gas stoves. We got to show that.
So that would be the illest collab ever.
I had to put that up there. Gas stoves.
Listen,
you got your own infamous stove. You heard? You got your own infamous stove.
Y'all, and the gas got a light to the beat. That's all you need on that stove, and you good to go.
Yeah. Corona, cognac. Jägermeister. I remember me and P used to drink the Jägermeister at his grandmother's crib in Long Island. Somebody said E&J. I don't even want to hear that word. No. How about that? For real. You know what I mean? That new Primo Prodigy Crazy dropped today. I didn't even hear that. I gotta hear that.
I know there was a Primo dropped the Gangstar joint. He dropped the joint with P.
Yeah, we gotta look that up. Let me look that up.
Yeah, y'all. Listen, hold up.
Yeah, that's something new to me.
Hold up.
DJ.
I'm looking. Nah, I see 2022. I don't see nothing recent.
Yeah, I see 2022 too. Maybe they see something that we don't know about. Oh, they probably saying it's new because it's of recent years.
Oh, okay. But
Yeah.
but Premier did drop a new Gangstar song today.
Really?
Shout out to Premier. Rest in peace to Guru. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely did drop a Gangstar song today. The name of the song, I'm gonna tell you right now. The name of the song is Finish 'Em.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the name of it.
Yeah. Listen, when you already know what it's gonna be when somebody says Gangstar.
Tommy Hilfiger,
Oh, Hilfiger would be a dope collab.
Helly Hansen. I remember them.
They naming all the joints from Q-Tip's verse on what was that song? That's not Give Up.
Drink away the pain.
Drink Away the Pain.
Drink away the pain. I remember that. Now we drinking water.
No, listen.
Can't get enough water.
Drinking water and trying to keep the health thorough.
Water will keep the pain away. How about that?
Word.
That E&J will bring the pain.
Man, listen.
Word.
Man, listen.
Somebody said they want to hear about the Loud Record Days. Yeah, we're gonna let you hear all about that. That's gonna be in the movie.
And that could probably be a whole episode because y'all was on Loud with Wu-Tang, Exhibit, the Alcoholics, Pun was on Loud.
Pun. Raekwon.
Ray was on Loud. Man.
I think Beatnuts was there for a second too, right? Like Beatnuts was there.
Was Beatnuts on Loud?
I could think. I think so. Something. I don't know. I could be.
Hold on, let me check.
I'll still.
Yeah, they was signed to Loud.
Totally.
Yeah, Musical Massacre in 1999.
Okay, so somebody said, what advice would you give to an artist who has his own sound in a climate where lots of people sound the same? Oh, I would say stay the effing course, man. Stay the course. Listen, man. That is your whole goal, is to sound different from everyone else because it's going to stand out. You know, if these idiots don't pay attention immediately, consistency will make them have to pay attention, right? And then they'll go back and people will be like, oh, you never heard of such and such? He been out for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? He been out, what? Then they'll be going back listening to your old stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, I gave that advice earlier. It's like, yo, that's the whole plan, is to make your music to sound different. You know what I'm saying? In a climate where everybody else is sounding the same. You know what I thought about? I thought about that. Like, you know how people complain about, music, everybody music sounds the same. But to be honest with you, aside from the 90s and the 80s, I think a lot of music sounded the same before those eras. You know what I mean? Like you had the Motown sound, you had the disco sound, you had the doo-wop sound and all of that. If you go back and listen to them doo-wop records, it's like, God damn, that was like super cookie cutter. You know what I mean? The Motown was cookie cutter, but for some reason, like, you didn't mind, right? Because it just still sounded dope.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was a certain pedigree of music that you was getting.
Right. But yeah, so you didn't pay too much attention to all of it really sounding the same because something was special about it. Something was, I can't put my finger on it, but something was special about it. And, that happens in music. People often imitate each other just to play it safe. so they could just make a hit. You know what I mean? Because people want to do what works. But most of the true artists, they always try to stand out and be different. And a person I would say that's like that is like Busta Rhymes, right? He stood out in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He really stood out.
And did not switch up. Stayed in his lane. And that's what he did. And his consistency and longevity paid off.
Yeah, another one, Timbaland. You know what I'm saying? He like changed a genre. You know what I'm saying? So you always want to, you know, as an artist and a producer, you want to try to sound different than whatever's out there, man. Because believe me, you will be happy in the end,
right?
You know, once it catches on.
And the other thing about it too is that as an artist, when you're trying to make music that is what everybody else is sounding like, when you start making that, what's missing in the music that we could all feel is your love for the music. And normally that love comes out of that creativity and that originality. So once the music don't have that feeling in it, that's when it starts to go left.
True indeed. True indeed. It just, you know, once the feeling is gone, and I think a lot of it comes from being successful and making money, because you don't got that hungry feeling, you don't got those hunger pains. So like I said, that's the challenge for all artists out there and producers. Once the pain is gone, you know, and the hunger is gone, it's like, how do you replicate that? You can't replicate pain. You know what I'm saying? You only could emulate it as you've gone through it. So, you know, that being said, I definitely had a good time today talking with y'all in the chat. But it's time for me to go make some beats. Y'all got me inspired over there. yeah, I really do got me inspired, and yo, I love it, man.
Yeah, we gotta do this one. We gotta do this one again sometime soon. Just come in and let the chat run the combo. Word.
Yeah, we definitely gonna do more of that, man. So, you know, thank you to all of y'all that tuned in. All of y'all on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button.
And remember that you can always see the replays of Stuck Off the Realness on Hav's YouTube channel, right? Have you post these right up?
They get automatically posted into the live. So make sure we're trying to get the numbers up. You know what I mean? You know, do what y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your weekend. Have a beautiful and safe Friday. And we see y'all next week, man.
Yeah, don't eat too much candy and get a stomach ache over the weekend. Word.
Easy, y'all.
All right.